Hey, we're back here with our KTM EXC project. We got the frame back from powder coat. Gonna give you little tips and show you what we're doing on this next step of this EXC project. Okay, so our frame's back from San Diego powder coating. Wherever you live in the country, you're probably gonna be able to find a local powder coater. These guys really know frames. They do a lot of the frames for the pro teams. They tape off and mark each hole. Each set of threads here is marked off. Here's where your coil goes. It's already all done. A lot of times guys don't do this. Even little spots like in here, they block off so that your swing arm and engine will fit perfectly. If you don't do all this stuff in advance, you'll have a hard time fitting stuff. You'll have to sand it, make it work because the paint's so thick. Since this is a street bike, we've even had them block off all of our important information here for the VIN number and everything about the bike, so that there's no problem in being able to see it easily. So with a freshly powder coated frame, you need to be careful because they sandblasted the entire frame. So there's a lot of sand. You'll still have sand particles inside the frame, so you want to blow it out with air really well, and then even put some grease on some of your threaded pieces. If you have any problems, if you feel any grit in there, pull it out, run a tap through it, thread chaser. So looks awesome, they did a great job. So we're going to get back to putting this thing together. So it's a good idea to put a little heat to the frame. We also put the races in the freezer, get them nice and cold. There's also some freezing spray. Get the frame a little warm. You can use a torch, but you want to be careful. So we just got a heat gun, getting her a little bit warm. Put a tiny bit of grease on the race where it slides in the frame. It'll slide a little easier. It's tightened up, it won't be any problem as far as coming loose or anything like that later. So the EXC model comes with this thing right here so you don't catch your pant legs in the chain on the way to work or stick your finger in there. So we're not sure why we really need it, so we got rid of it. Okay, so for a lot of the past year KTM models, the fork guards wrap all the way around, which fits a lot of bikes. One of the tricks we do is you just cut them. Most people know about this, but just showing you, you can cut them like this and you can fit the fork guard right over the fork if you forget to do it or you want to just throw some new ones on, don't want to take the forks off. You can just put a cut in there and wrap them right around. So we're installing the Tusk oversized rotor on this KTM while it's all apart. This is the stock unit. We have a pickup right here with the magnet. It has a little circlip. You can remove the stock KTM one, just pull it off and install it on the new Tusk rotor. Same thing on the adapter here. We pulled out the stock pickup that plugs in to the stock wiring and we can screw it right back in. We've already Loctited our pin in. We're ready to assemble. Okay, so with our gearing, we've ended up with a 1348 on the gearing. We just shortened up our O-ring chain. Motion Pro makes a nice tool. This PBR, it's their press, brake, rivet. Was it rivet? Press, brake, rivet. Press, brake, rivet tool. So anyway, good, cool tool. It's a bit of a pain to, to dial everything in and out, but man, it's for pressing the Masterlink plate back on, it's ideal. Works really well for that. Just a great tool to have. So that's what we just did. So on the KTMs, the off-road bikes, sometimes a lot of people can be, thinking that the throttle takes way too long to twist. This is a 350, maybe on the, the 500 I wouldn't feel the same, but in the 350, maybe I'd like to get to full throttle just a little quicker. Motion Pro has their Rev 2 system, which is a much quicker throttle. You have different options. So it comes with a throttle tube and then these different cams which just insert like so. So also you'll need to run the Motion Pro cables that come in the kit. So it's a complete kit with the cables and all ready to go. Okay, so that's a wrap for our KTM 350 part of this project on this EXC. Got the frame on this thing, so orange frame, powder coated, looks gorgeous. Everything went really well. We spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours taking it apart and getting everything organized. And then we spent about 5 hours putting it back together. That was with a really good quality mechanic and me helping out some, my boy helping out some. And so we did all that. It took us about 5 hours. I think you should allow, you know, depending upon your knowledge of it, allow 8 to or more hours, depends on what you're doing. Remember to take pictures of everything as you're taking it apart, really help you with your smartphone. And if you got a manual, refer to that for all your torque specs. Went really well. We just tested everything, went and rode it. Nothing's binding up. We made sure nothing's you know, falling off, of course, and everything clears. Got it all back to the way it was stock. And we're going to continue on with this really cool bike and this really cool project.